I'm Jan.
And I'm Ronnie, and we're designing dishes. Today we're going to be making grilled New York strip steaks and sauteed mushrooms.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, this isn't just your ordinary sauteed mushrooms and steak. We have a couple of really good ideas for the mushrooms to really pump them up and make them absolutely scrumptious. We also have some ideas for you for the New York strip steaks to bring out the flavor and the just absolutely man appeal that a steak has.
Our husbands are going to love this. All the other guys out there are going to love it. And I'm all ready to get started, aren't you?
Let's go.
The New York strip steaks we're using today look absolutely wonderful. I had the butcher cut them so they're 1.5 inches thick. There's lots of great marbling through the steak. The marbling is the fat that you see distributed. What this does when you get it on the grill, those fats and marbling in there will distribute and give a lot of flavor to our steak. I have taken these out of the refrigerator 30 minutes prior to what we're going to be doing next.
Next is one of our big secrets, and we're going to first brush on to the steaks some clarified butter or vegetable oil or olive oil, whichever you prefer. And the reason for doing this, and this is one of our big secrets, is that the butter or the oil, the fat that you add to the meat on the top side here, will give the meat a fantastic sear on the grill. And it will actually burn off of the meat, so you're not going to really be like adding this extra fat in there to a steak that's already got plenty of fat on its own. It'll burn off. Then we're going to season it. Now we're using a Montreal steak seasoning, which is a prepared seasoning that you can buy at your market. You can also make a variety of your own homemade rubs to go onto your steak. And on our blog at designingdishes.blogspot.com, we're going to be putting on a couple of our own ideas for a spicy seasoning and an herb seasoning that you can make on your own and keep in the pantry and just add to your steaks whenever you're ready.
Now, in prepping our steaks to get them outside and put them on the grill, make sure you firm up the steak so it's even distributing through the entire steak in nice, even thickness. We're going to let them rest for 15 minutes, and then we're going to be heading out to the grill.
Now this is for your fingers.
Yes, thank you very much. My fingers are a mess.
There are a variety of ways that you can test your meat. One is on the top of your hand here. You make your hand into a very loose fist, and you can test to see if the steak's done. Like this would represent right here where your thumb meets your hand. This little fleshy part of your skin would represent the rare steak. About halfway up towards your wrist, tap there, and that represents medium. And all the way up here on the bony part of your wrist, that's going to represent well done.
Now there's another method, and that's the instant read thermometer. When your steak is almost to the doneness that you think it will be, and we will be going over that outside by the grill, what you do, you take your instant read thermometer at the, let me take a, because we're pretending we are out at the grill, take your tongue, go through the steak about 2 to 3 inches in, right in the center, read it, and that will give you a very accurate reading for the temperature and doneness of your steak.
There is one other method for testing steak.
And what's that, Ronnie?
My husband's method. The fork and the knife. Unfortunately, so many people do that. They cut into the meat and it lets all the juices out. My husband knows better.
I know he knows better, but you cannot do that. So
he just likes eating steak at the grill, I think is his issue.
Okay, while these rest, we're going to go to the stove and make our sauteed mushrooms. We've melted 3 tablespoons of butter. If you do not want to use butter, you can use olive oil. That's a great option.
And after the butter melts and begins to sizzle just a tiny little bit, we're going to add 1/2 of a cup of chopped onions. We're going to let the onions saute for a minute or so.
This is about a medium-high heat to begin with.
Okay. After the onions start to sizzle a little bit, we're ready to add our mushrooms. And these mushrooms are baby bella mushrooms. You could use button mushrooms if you want, or any combination of mushrooms that you can find in your grocery store. And this is about a half a pound of baby bella mushrooms. We're going to saute those until they begin to caramelize just a little bit, and that's going to take, about 2 minutes probably.
Okay, I like using bella mushrooms because I feel they're a little meatier and they have a little more flavor.
The mushrooms have sauteed for a couple of minutes, and we are ready for our next ingredient, which is our 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, half a teaspoon of salt, a clove of garlic minced, a dash of dried dill, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper.
That's interesting, a little bit of dill in here.
Yeah, it really kind of, you don't really taste the dill, but it really adds another dimension to it. Now, at this point, we're going to take the pan off the heat, turn off the heat, and I'm going to pour the red wine in, and then you will just take the pan right off the heat and let the mushrooms sit in the red wine for about a half hour or so, or until your steaks are done. Here is another secret to make our steaks taste absolutely wonderful. We're going to cook them with some real wood smoking in the grill. Now, what you do is you make a little aluminum foil pouch, and in there you put your water-soaked wood chips. You can use hickory, you can use apple wood, there's a whole lot of flavors, mesquite. You can find them at most grill stores and also at your Home Depots and Lowe's and so forth. Just chopped little shavings of wood.
You're going to love this secret.
Now what you do is you take the grate out of one side of your grill, and you put your little foil packet on top of the briquettes towards the front of the grill, and let it heat up, and all of a sudden you get this wonderful smoke coming out. So we've already got our packet in there. This was our demonstration right there.
We're ready to sear our steaks. Listen to that sizzle. We've preheated the grill. Nice hot temperature. Now it's a medium high. We're going to let our steaks sear for 2 minutes on each side. Now, our steaks, we want to be about medium rare. Some people like them rare, and I think that we need to tell you that this is not an easy thing to do, but on the average, you'll find that as you cook your steak, you're going to sear it again 2 minutes on each side, and then we're going to let it cook for approximately 6 to 12 minutes total, and that is a medium-high heat, 1.5 inch thick. If you want a rare steak, we're going to be using the instant reed thermometer. That will be 120 degrees. Medium rare will be 130 degrees. Medium will be 140 degrees. And finally, well done, 165 degrees.
Okay, our steaks have been cooking for about 2 minutes on the first side. We're ready to flip them over to sear on the second side. And wow, look at all that smoke. And oh, the smell of that hickory. Our steaks have seared for 2 minutes on each side, so we're going to close the lid on the grill. It'll make the steaks cook a little bit faster, and it will also keep that smokiness from the hickory wood inside the grill and send it all the way through the meat. We've taken our steaks off the grill, and while they're resting, we're finishing our mushrooms. Now remember, we left them soaking in the red wine. The purpose for that, and our big secret, is to let those mushrooms soak up some of the flavor of the red wine. Now we're going to saute them to evaporate the red wine so that it's basically just no alcohol left in the wine, and also so it's just a little bit of sauce in the pan. And that'll take about 2 minutes or so.
Oh, smells so good.
Smells heavenly.
This is our completed steak. It looks gorgeous. We cooked it rare. That was a total of 13 minutes. We seared it 2 minutes on each side, and then an additional 9 minutes, 120 degrees. We've added to our presentation the sauteed mushrooms with a little thyme for decoration. And one of our previous videos was grilled vegetables, and we've included the grilled vegetables on this plate.
It looks marvelous.
Our husbands are going to love it. We are too. I hope you've enjoyed watching our secrets to this gorgeous strip steak. Our first secret was adding butter along with our seasonings.
Our second secret, mushrooms soaked in wine during the saute process.
And our third little secret were the wood chips that we soaked and put in the grill for that extra smoky flavor.
You can find Designing Dishes at a variety of places. Of course, you can always contact us on YouTube, but we are also on Facebook, and we are also designingdishes.blogspot.com.
We have a Gmail address, designingdishes@gmail.com, and we have a Twitter account. You can tweet us. We'll see you next time. I'm Jan.
And I'm Ronnie. Bye-bye.